Hi there. The migrant crisis on the southern border seems like a lack of leadership, lack of planning. A lot of states are blaming on that. Too many people, too many problems. But we have the solution, we the Latinos. What I mean by that is we can solve the problem. Do you want to know how? Let's get to the chest.
Dear American citizens from all over the continent, from Santa Cruz, Bolivia, situated in the heart of South America, which is known for its commitment to freedom, production, prosperity, and well-being, we are currently broadcasting new political theories and state policies with the aim of modernizing politics and the political landscape across the entire American continent. So here we offer an outstanding solution to the problem of the southern border of the United States of America that is currently being faced. The issue with the southern border of the United States, the problem of immigration, is a long-standing and complex issue without an effective solution. So it was that President
Franklin Delano Roosevelt,
the year 1933, at the December Pan American Conference, indicated that he had a new proposal for the American continent, the policy of the good neighbor or good neighborhood. And that is the way a continental treaty was signed, in which the United States could not invade because they had been unilaterally invading multiple countries in Latin America. The treaty being signed is the relationship between the United States and the entire American continent, because they had been unilaterally intervening in several countries in Latin America. It was like putting the brakes on that situation. But they were also looking for continental solidity against the attack of other European countries, and that's how they ended up in that situation in World War II. According to the treaty, a group of Colombian Mexicans departed to engage in warfare as soldiers and pilots during World War II, while a group of Mexicans migrated to work in food production in the fields, specifically in regions such as California and Texas. In the meantime, the white American citizens were employed in weapon factories.
we are bringing to the world conflict everything we have, our young people, and the vast resources of our nation. Manufacturing airplanes, weapons, and ammunition.
All of that was done legally because there was a valid treaty. However, after World War II, the entire good neighbor situation was forgotten by the United States of America, and there was not that same relationship with Latin America, since they prohibited entry through the southern border. It is worth remembering that Central America was also harmed by the big American businessmen who turned it into banana republics, thus hindering their development. And that is the reason why there exists a feeling of guilt and an inherent need to provide assistance to the countries in Central America. However, not all administrations have been successful in handling this problem correctly. And that's how President Obama, we Latinos, thought he was going to collaborate better, because he was a person of color who had reached the presidency of the United States for the first time. And just like him, coming from a minority sector like us Latinos, he was going to provide collaboration. But it wasn't like that during his presidency. Thousands of Latinos were deported, and families were also separated. People who maybe until today can't reunite parents and children. And that's what President Donald Trump observed. A lot of people criticize me, but President Obama did worse. It was indeed true. However, even President Donald Trump himself separated children from their parents and imprisoned them in cages. And in the face of that situation, 10 states sued the presidency of Donald Trump to put a stop to that situation. And that's how it came to a halt. And they tried to reunite the parents and children. Of course, many will never be together again. And under the current presidency of President Joe Biden, it's when the border was opened and he said for them to come, and that we will indeed treat them differently. And that is how they reached the border and were transported on buses and even airplanes to other states such as Florida, New York, and similar. However, due to an abundance of migration, the systems in New York, Florida, California, and other states experienced a collapse. And that's how the governor of Texas said he was going to send soldiers to the border. A lot of people got scared and thought there was going to be a civil war. However, later they said it was just a saying for their election campaign.
The federal government said, we're not helping, so Texas said, all right, enough is enough. Governor Abbott, keep up the great work.
I wanted to be here and thank the soldiers and troopers and other personnel. As far as I know, it's the first time in American history that a state has led the effort to prevent people from entering the United States illegally. Let's be clear. That's the job and the responsibility of Joe Biden and the federal government. There's only one reason why people were trying to enter illegally in the first place, and that's because they perceived the permission by the Biden administration to enter.
Even more anger from Republicans over the border. Governor Brian Kemp is now sending even more National Guard troops to Texas.
Have you done everything you can do with executive authority, or is there more you could do absent legislation?
Not all I can do. Just give me the power. I've asked for the very day I got in office.
He talks about having no power, yet he magically had the power to terminate Remain in Mexico, reinstate catch and release, end Title 42, shut down border wall construction. The list goes on and on. Shoot, almost 8 dozen executive actions during his first 100 days in office.
However, the problem has turned into a full-blown migration crisis because millions and millions of people are heading towards the border and falling victim to human traffickers, drug traffickers, and organized crime syndicates that operate along the entire southern border of the United States. Research has been carried out and shows that Generation Z in the United States no longer desire to have children, and as a result, the United States will require immigration, individuals relocating from other locations, to fulfill the employment opportunities in the upcoming 30 to 50 years.
Los Estados Unidos requiere inmigración. Lo necesitamos. Esto es en base de un reporte que dice que vamos a tener que buscar la forma de agregar 3 millones de personas. Y no es un problema de corto tiempo, es un problema de largo tiempo. Y los Estados Unidos ya se ha dado cuenta que esto es un problema entre 30 y 50 años en el futuro.
In light of this situation, everyone is pondering what actions can be taken, because that is the major discussion that is also occurring in this year's campaign in the United States. The significant political, economic, and all-encompassing discussion pertaining to the immigration crisis program. Question: is migration good for the United States and Latin America? Yeah, migration is good for the United States of America because they need workers in the construction field, doctors, nurses, and a whole bunch of others in different states across the nation. And that is how, even in the Gagro, there are jobs that white people, Americans, do not want to do anymore because they earn much more in office jobs, computer jobs, and other situations. And it is also beneficial for Latin America because, and it signifies in Central America the primary source of income, and in countries such as Bolivia and Ecuador in South America, it is the secondary source of income. That is why migration is of utmost importance. But we must ensure the well-being of our people so that they can migrate under the best conditions. Additionally, no president from Latin America has addressed this issue, which is the focal point of our proposal from the Continental American Movement. We are able to handle the problem. Allow me to clarify. The United States provides us with information regarding the specific population requirements and desired professions, as well as the necessary skills. For instance, they may request 1,000 doctors, 1,000 nurses, 1,000 truck drivers, and 1,000 computer technicians. This is how we will prepare individuals for a duration of 1 year. Throughout that period, they will receive instruction in the English language, complete all necessary studies, undergo all required medical examinations, and also be educated on the culture and way of life of both the United States and Canada. Many individuals may already speak English and be professionals, so the process for these people may take 3 months, for others 6 months, for others 9 months. However, they will be able to travel by fleet or plane with their documents ready to work immediately in the United States and in the required areas. This will help to cut off this problem forever and close the border, benefiting all the people of the American continent who can communicate in English and have professional skills. And of course, in this way, we are going to prevent terrorists, murderers, gang members, and people who are not qualified to live in society from coming in. Also, the problem of drug trafficking, arms trafficking, human trafficking, and a lot of bad things that happen there at the border. It is the best approach to address this problem. And obviously a significant matter for the United States and Canada because we are sending skilled individuals. Honestly, they should be paying us for this. We Latinos are tired of being the backyard of the United States. We can accomplish a great deal more for this remarkable continent. We can elevate it, enhance its brilliance, and serve as a guiding light for humanity. And that's what we're discussing. Continental America, one people, one nation. In this project, Continental America, one people, one nation. I invite all Latinos from the American continent, including the United States and Canada, to be part of this wonderful project because I'm sure that you, us all, have a friend, a cousin, a relative, a neighbor who is in the United States irregularly or maybe already with the documents, but also surely maybe you're thinking of traveling. And that's why we all must participate in solving this problem so that no one dies at the border or in the attempt. Victim of the mafias, drug trafficking, coyotes, all those irregular groups that end up destroying the lives and hopes of many people, of people with homes, of good people who, due to political, economic, and social problems, must flee from drug trafficking, gangs, the desperate economic situation, because in Latin America, many countries no longer have anything to offer the population, and their citizens are left with no choice but to seek safety and opportunities elsewhere. They have been deceived by 21st century socialism and are plunged into poverty, misery, and neglect. I also invite you to be part of this project because in each country, the offices of the American movement will be opened. Their participation is crucial. We should start as a fraternity, and in the future, it could become a continental political party. Their involvement is important for its success. The Continental American movement is highly significant, to the point where I find it necessary to express it.
We're tired of being the backyard. We can do a lot more than that. Let's have this beautiful continent, make it shine, be a beacon of light for the humankind. And that's what I'm talking about. And this is the project, Continental America, one people, one nation.
President Donald Trump, during his 2016 campaign, stated Mexico sent rapists, thugs, and criminals. And that was an insult to all Latin Americans because when he says Mexico, he includes all of us. We are all the same. And numerous personalities, artists, writers, they made reference to the matter that it is incorrect for a president to make reference to the entire Latino population in that manner. That is the statement made by the renowned singer Pitbull.
Escucha primero. Con él le quiero decir, mira, yo no soy político, yo soy músico, pero más que nada soy latino. Por toda la cultura allá afuera, y le quiero decir a Marco Rubio, ponte las pilas, Jeb Bush, ponte las pilas, Hillary Clinton, ponte las pilas, porque Donald Trump no puede ser presidente.
And it is also what the Spanish artist Antonio Banderas mentioned.
Es insano y absolutamente reprochable del señor Donald Trump por patearnos el trasero. Se reúnen un crisol de comunidades que hablan la lengua cervantina y que no solo enriquecen la vida cultural del país, sino que aportan valores apoyados en su propia dignidad. Todos amamos a nuestros países de origen, podemos sin duda abrazar la idea de lo latino.
That brought all Latinos together like never before. And that is the reason why we need a voice that represents Latin America in a way that has never been done before. In many cases, because there are abuses towards Latin America, towards one country, towards another from different world powers, and there is no voice that represents all of Latin America. We are in need of a leader who paves the way towards freedom, development, and prosperity for the entire continent, with a special focus on Latin America, as it is crucial for the progress and well-being of the region as a whole. A leader who provides certainty, who projects the future for Latin America, because we are significantly lagging behind. Asia hosts tech fairs, car fairs, motor fairs, computer fairs, and Latin America lags behind. We can't waste time. It's clear Asia is advancing while Latin America is falling behind in technology exhibitions. It is now the time for Latin America. That is precisely why we urgently need to change this situation immediately. However, no president is currently taking the initiative, and all individuals in Latin America are eagerly awaiting for that to occur. In the face of this situation, for years, Latinos have awaited someone to represent them like Simón Bolívar. Instead, they have seen a regression like Venezuela, changing its constitution and declaring itself all in the name of Latin unity based on Simón Bolívar. However, they lacked and still lack concrete projects. Their only slogan has been La Casa Grande, La Casa Grande. There has been no other genuine effort to unite Latin America. But why do we have to wait for a president to appear if they do not show up, and they are not going to? And perhaps they are not prepared for such a situation either. And that is the reason why I have made up my mind to take action and do it. Because as a visionary, I've been working on this project for over 20 years. And the project has been developed by different representatives from the field of knowledge, sociologists, anthropologists, economists, people who have worked, and it is based on that a continental project has been made. And me, as a visionary, I have made the decision to do it. That is the reason why I say,
I am the voice. I am the leader. I am the future.
Additionally, I am going to express it in Portuguese.
Eu sou a voz. Eu sou o líder, o cara. Eu sou o futuro.
I want to get in touch with Mrs. Laura Richardson, the boss lady of the United States Southern Command for the Southern Hemisphere of the continent. Marco Rubio, representative from Florida, also with Elvira Salazar, another Latino representative, and also with Ted Cruz. And of course, there are many other Latinos in Congress, but also with Americans. Because my objective is to achieve a position in the United States Congress and have the opportunity to comprehensively elucidate the entire project that will bring advantages to Latin America, the United States, and Canada. We invite all individuals from Latin America to share this video and touch on this topic as well. Just like friends at work, in factories, in kiosks, in gyms, in universities, and everywhere else, because it is an important issue. Also to the Latin Americans from Bolivia, Ecuador, Colombia, Brazil, Nicaragua, Venezuela, throughout the Americas, we must address this issue because it is for all of us. We all have a friend, a cousin, or a neighbor who's in the United States legally or illegally. However, there are many young people thinking of going, maybe you. That's why it's important. For the very first time, a highly organized and systematic Latin solution emerges to effectively tackle a major problem in the United States of America, providing a much-needed resolution. And don't forget, regardless of your location in the Americas, my house is always open to you.
Y recuerda, en cualquier lugar que tú vivas en el continente americano, mi casa es tu casa. From Santa Cruz, Bolivia, situated in the heart of South America, to unite the American continent, we are currently broadcasting in new political theories and state policies for the aim of modernizing politics and the political landscape across the entire American continent. Transmitting, communicating, connecting in 4 languages: Spanish, América para todos. El cambio climático está afectando al mundo entero y en América Latina hay muchos incendios que se salieron de control. English, America for all. War on Gaza, General Assembly meeting on Gaza situation. Português, América para todos. Lula se reúne com o príncipe herdeiro saudita. Eles falaram de vários temas, entre eles a guerra na Gaza. Quechua, América tucuy ninquispa. Un saludo, tucuy cangunapa yachtamasis. Kai, Santa Cruz Manta Pacha. Let's unite all the colors, flavors and smells of the American continent.